Man, it would sound so much better to sing that song if we were actually good last night, huh?
Yeah, right.
Oh, we are live, by the way.
All right. Go.
I'm just pinning
So,
this.
so don't say anything. Got it.
No, I don't care if you say anything. This isn't. This isn't. I mean, we. Come on now. Hi, everybody.
Hello. Hello, Governor.
Hello, hello, hello. I already warned the group earlier that we were going to be doing this. Okay. I'm just pinning this, y'all. Give me a minute. Okay, there we go. Sweet. What do we got going on here? The Texans are definitely not the worst team in the division after seeing that game. Okay.
Okay, guy.
I guarantee I know who that is. That's Chris Royal. Brian Olive says, "What's up?" Hello, Brian Olive, aka also known as Jacksman, the super fan, the super Jax fan. Anyway, for those of you who are watching who don't normally watch, we film our episodes Sunday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. However, there was a game on Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we are doing an update to add into the podcast that you guys will hear on Wednesdays. And I have my friend Justin here with me. Com-
Hello.
I'll get to the comments in a minute. We've already got comments coming in about who the Jaguar or who the quarterback should be, but I'll wait.
All right. It's
All
gonna be a
right,
good
so we'll
one.
segue into this one. Um, John Haas says we don't have any friends, and that's not very nice.
Yeah, why would you say that, John Hall?
That's secret agent man. All right,
hmm
ready?
Yep, let's do it.
And we will join you again with the. Oh, no, that's not what I meant to say. Time out.
hmm
Okay, restart.
hmm
And we will be right back with the Jaguars preseason game 2 update after a short break and a word from our sponsors. Okay, Justin, it is now
What?
Tuesday. And I promised the listeners that on Tuesday we would get an update from you. So,
hmm
how are you feeling now versus Sunday night? How are you feeling now on Tuesday after watching Monday night's game?
uh, I mean, overall, the I think we can all agree that the team is in no sense of rhythm yet, and I just really think that the plan's not there, right? And I think it spawns from maybe a blend of the offensive systems, is what we heard about on the broadcast, but I think it's more so um, Trevor Lawrence not being the heir apparent starter for the Jaguars. And I mean, I think that decision should have been made 2 weeks ago. The guy's the future. Why are you going to waste time? Why are you going to waste valuable time with this guy taking reps from the twos and the threes and giving those first team reps to Gardner Minshew when you know Gardner Minshew is not the future? You saw the success that the Jets had with Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson is the number one starter in New York, and he's gotten first team reps since he's been there. And you saw that success from taking those reps in the game they just played. And I think that, you know, why is Trevor Lawrence throwing to Pharaoh Cooper and Tavon Austin when he should be throwing with Marvin Jones and DJ Chark 100% of the time? Right now, he's throwing 50% of the time because he's splitting it with Gardner Minshew. So overall, I think that replicated in the game. You
Now, do
know,
you personally think that Urban Meyer coming out and saying that there was a bid for QB1 possibly was it a smokescreen? Did they really not know? Does he maybe not have faith in the offensive line? or is he just trying to
Mhm.
make everybody happy, or are they trying to sell Minshew to other people? Like, what do you think is the purpose of that?
I think a part of it is trying to sell him to get him to find a trade partner. But I think we keep Gardner at least for the tenure of his contract. We don't keep a fifth year option with him, but I do think we keep him as a backup for his current contract, just because I think the guy can go out there and win 2 or 3 games for you. I don't think he can last a full season. I just don't think he's that type of quarterback. But um, if was there something wrong with the offensive line? Yeah. I mean, you didn't have Cam Robinson starting, you didn't have Andrew Norwell starting, and you didn't have Linder starting. So yeah, that's part of the problem too. They wanted to try out Walker Little, which I agree they should, because again, I think he is the future with having Cam Robinson on a 1 year deal. But yeah, the offensive line didn't look great. That there were flashes of good plays from like Ben Barch and also from Jawan Taylor, but for every good play you could see a bad play. But in regards to Trevor, uh, I was happy, overall that he looked confident, even though the plays broke down, and he, there was a couple of plays where I was extremely proud of him because the play didn't turn out like he wanted to, but I felt like he never got discouraged, and that's my opinion. From it.
I did not, as a mother.
Mhm.
I know when a young man looks scared.
Right.
Not scared. I think, okay, let me rephrase that. In my opinion, there was one moment, I know they did a still of his head like leaning back. Then they showed him at one point, and he's looking to the sidelines like almost in like disgust. Not sure if that was towards him or towards the play calling.
No, no, I 100% agree. I think there is a issue with the offense and the scheme, right? Urban Meyer
Everybody's
spread out.
calling for upper management. Even Jimmy Smith, our
Mhm.
former wide receiver, has come out today saying it's how they're being managed, how they're the play
Mhm.
calling. Like,
I think at this point, like, quit taking half measures, right, Urban, and this is to Urban, right? Quit taking half measures to do things. Like, it's your offense, run the offense you want to run. Like, Bevel is really good. I mean, he won a Super Bowl with Russell Wilson, right? He's very good at coaching up quarterbacks. But this is how I feel about all of this, right? I I just don't feel like Urban Meyer's confident enough to put a stamp of approval. Um,
hold on. Did you say competent or confident? Those are
confident,
confident. Okay.
yeah, confident, excuse me, uh in putting a stamp on this offense, because if it does fail, there's no one to blame but him, right? And Urban Meyer's never really failed at anywhere he's been successful. Utah, Florida, Ohio State, he's been extreme. Bowling Green, he's been extremely successful everywhere he's been. So for him to come to the NFL and fail and not have an excuse as to why that failed, um, I think that's affecting him a little bit. You saw him on the
We
sidelines
could say the same for
frustrated.
Trevor Lawrence as well.
Yeah, but I mean, one relies on the other to be successful, right? And we can already see right now, we can call the giving reps to Gardner Minshew, not having a clear, starter going into the third week. And you saw it with this game. You can see that they kind of said, we screwed up by giving Trevor Lawrence almost the first half to play, right? To get him out there. And they need to. They need to play him, this coming week. They need to play him 2 quarters and let him get in rhythm with the offense, with the true offense. Marvin Jones, when DJ Chark gets back, throw the ball to DJ Chark, you know, and yeah, they need to let him be the guy, right? Because it is affecting, I think, everyone at this point.
Well, and I mean, if you don't know if you're going to start, why would you? I mean, that's a tough one. Well, we have to move on to the elephant in the room.
Mhm.
You know what it is. Go ahead and call it.
Yeah, uh, it sucks, right? You never want to have a young guy. Um,
Go ahead and tell everybody what happened for the people
yeah.
that don't know.
So during the game, Travis Etienne had one play. He came off the field. It seems like a airline foot fracture, I believe. It's how they're labeling it, and he is potentially out for the year due to that. It
It's actually, I
sucks,
forget the exact pronunciation, but it's actually a type of sprain in the middle of the foot. It starts with an L,
right?
and I think
Eh, eh,
I,
yeah, I
I was actually looking it up earlier, and it like if you don't baby it, essentially the cartilage can completely collapse around it.
a Liz Frank injury, a serious Liz Frank injury is how they're labeling it. And it sucks because I felt like this guy could come in here and you know, make our offense, a track race against other offenses instead of some type of, stalemate, rushing the ball, getting 3 yards of carry, and then, converting third down. I saw this guy coming in here and being literally like a Chris Rainey, Jeffrey Demps type of running back from the days of Florida, and just taking off and just getting 90, 80 yard, breaking it, finding the hole and taking it to the house for 80 yards. That's what I saw for this guy. And it sucks that he's not going to be able to do it this year, but hopes and prayers out to him for having a breakout season year 2.
Yeah, so sad to watch somebody's rookie year start and end just off of one play. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, we'll never know if there's underlying issues, right, Colts fans? There's a little foot injury there.
The footsies.
Little footsie injuries. We'll never know. Super sad to hear it. Still will never understand why we got him. I know he was the best player at the time. I'm the unbiased host. Let me stop. We're not
Right.
talking as friends. I forget we're on a podcast. Anyways,
But I think he could have been there in the second round. I do agree with you on that. That I had him going in the second round and us taking him in the second round with that high pick. But we took that corner Tyson Campbell in the second round and pushed it up. And I think he would have been there. In all honesty, I really wanted Christian Barmore, that defensive tackle from Alabama, at that spot because it's a spot we needed. But hey, he's on a team. I'm happy he's here. I'm not happy that he's not going to play. But I will say uh, for the negative in that game, one of the positives was a former draft pick the previous year in the first round, Chase on. Man, I thought he had a really good game. He had two really good defensive pressures, which one led to a sack not by him, and then the other one led to a third down, a non-converted third down, which led to a punt. Both of those pressures were good, and I'm definitely happy when we get Josh Allen back and he's on the other side rushing the ball. So
yeah.
if I had to put my stamp of approval on someone that had the most improved game, it would definitely be Chase on at this point.
So, what are you looking forward to going into next week?
I'm looking for a consistent offense instead of us trying to figure out our system. Our guys know our system, and this isn't like a Trevor thing because there was one play that we had to call a timeout for those who watched the game. The play clock was dwindling, and you can see that Trevor was trying to get his receivers in the right spot, so he knows the scheme. He knows this, but this is more of a coaching thing to say, hey, this is the offense we're running. We're not going to run a pro style slash West Coast offense. We're going to run the spread, and I think that that's where he's going to be the most successful. And I think we need to go ahead and internally say, hey, Trevor's a starter. This is what we're doing, instead of all this mumbo jumbo in the media. Who's starting? I mean, shit. The first time that the Jaguars were on ESPN talking about something was, is it going to be Trevor? Is it going to be Gardner? Tonight in New
They
Orleans.
literally ended the game with that, just so you know. The same
Yeah.
ESPN that boldly predicted that Tebow would make the 53-man roster was comparing highlights after the game last night.
Yeah, I mean, we all saw that CJ Beathard had a better outing last night than Gardner did, throwing that interception in the end zone. Yeah, I just don't think that Gardner is a starter. I think he could be a good injury fill-in for a couple of weeks, but he's just not the guy. But overall, with the defense, to talk about the other side of the ball just real quick, I think Chason looked good. I think Dwayne Smoot looked great. I think that
Agree.
I think that Miles Jack, playing a little catch up, filling in that role, that inside linebacker role, and then CJ Henderson, man, I want you starting. You need to start, bud. You are that good. I think it showed. Shaq Griffin getting beat on the touchdown over the middle wasn't necessarily his fault. Tyson Campbell came over and essentially
My
ran a
my thing with that is,
pick and
did
roll.
anybody expect to see Jameis Winston going out there and playing like that either? Like, you almost don't want to get people hurt in preseason, and he was sitting out there slinging that thing,
Yeah, I mean, a couple of
fighting for his
catches.
job, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, no,
I mean,
absolutely. Marquez Callaway made two great plays. That catch in the end zone on the far left side against Shaq Griffin. Uh, it was like a one-handed catch that he did. It was a miraculous. It was a perfectly thrown ball, but it was even a better catch, where yeah, it made Jameis Winston look, I won't say like Drew Brees-esque, but he looked like a quarterback that has been well coached. And we know the talent's there based off his time at Florida State. He just needs really good coaching and he's getting it. So yeah, I mean, I think he's submitted himself as the starter. So, but I think the secondary is going to be fine, right? Once they promote Andre Cisco to the starting free safety, right? I think we're going to be fine. It's just, the defense finding itself too, new scheme. I get it. It's going to come together in time, but I think, and quote me on this, it's fine. It's going to be week 4 going into week 5 before I think our offense gets into rhythm of what kind of offense we're going to be in. And I know that may be 4 games too late, but that's when it's going to happen at this point.
well, listen, next week, 53-man roster is due. We're going to know who's there, who isn't. I think Tuesday. I know we had the final cuts down to 80 today. So 53-man roster is due for all teams next Tuesday, and we shall see what happens. So we'll segue that into our closing. Anything else to add that's not being recorded, Justin, for our live viewers?
Um, I'll tell you right now, some guys I'm really excited about. Colin Johnson, if Marvin Jones is hurt, because Marvin Jones potentially had a shoulder injury. I don't think it ever came out. He came back in, played a game, but we haven't really heard anything about that yet. If Colin Johnson goes out there and is to fill in with Marvin Jones, I think a lot of people are going to be surprised about how good this kid can be. 6'6",
Isn't that the
big
one that
receiver.
Jimmy Smith is super excited about? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think this kid 6'6", has good enough speed to compete with people. I think if he gets the opportunity, he is going to run with it, and that's probably one of the things that we need to look for in the coming weeks, along with guys like Ben Barch, the left guard, potentially taking over for Norwell's spot in the future. Those are 2 guys that I'm looking at here uh, for next week's preseason game.
Yeah, he needs to make sure if he's listening. Jimmy says, hit the squat bench. Go to the weight room, hit the squats.
Hit
Squat
the
your heart
squats.
out. Squat. That's where your power comes from. Jimmy said it. And he's a legend, and we believe everything he says. If he said to jump off a roof and you would win a Super Bowl, I would do it. Would you do it? I would do it.
Absolutely.
100%. Jimmy Smith, if you're listening, don't tell me to do that because I would.
And then
Anyways,
yeah,
yeah,
and
go ahead.
my last point would just be James Robinson. Man, we got a gym. That guy. For those of you that watch the game, there's 2 plays that stick out to me. He called out a blocking assignment to Trevor Lawrence, right? He called out a blocking assignment, which typically doesn't happen with running backs. They typically aren't going up there and saying, hey, this is where the blitz is coming from. He saw it, he picked it up, and that blitz, for those that you watch, he literally put his body out there against the inside linebacker and held his own. And that guy was running full speed at him and held his own. And the other thing, the other side was that his football IQ, yes, he's a great runner. He can find the holes, he can take, be a freight train if he needs to, but his football IQ is awesome. The other part was when the clock was dwindling down, you saw him clap on the field to Trevor Lawrence to say, hey, hike the ball. We ended up calling a timeout, but hey, we didn't get a penalty from it. And you just don't see that enough from running backs. So I think we got a gem in this guy. And
Yeah,
with
he kind of
ETN,
reminds me, he gives me Maurice Jones Drew vibes.
yeah, I mean, he's built that way, right? Yeah. So with Etienne being out, we're going to be leaning very heavily on him. So I'm really, really looking
Which
forward
isn't
to
bad. He
year
ran
two
for
from
what,
him.
over 1,000 last year. So
Yeah. I mean, I was hopeful before we drafted Etienne, but now, as we approach this season, I'm really looking forward to another breakout season from him.
yeah, heck yeah.
But that's it.
Well, I like your background.
Oh, thanks. It's for those that are listening, it's actually Miles Jack when we went to our playoff game against the Steelers and beat the Steelers 45-42.
Oh,
And this was,
do you mean when Ben Roethlisberger became our quarterback and threw us
I know,
seven
right?
turnovers?
I know,
Seven? I
right?
remember. I'll never forget. I actually went on Wikipedia and under Ben Roethlisberger's bio, I turned him into quarterback for the Jaguars.
But
Thank you,
yeah,
Ben.
Miles Jack is throwing up the L sign, Fortnite L sign,
Love it.
um, in a live nationally televised game. So
Yeah,
that's the
love it.
matter.
And also he wasn't down. So there's that. All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening and make sure you tune in. Podcast episode will be available tomorrow morning on all major platforms. Don't forget we move Sunday nights at 9:30. That is our new live time. Sunday nights 9:30 Eastern. Chris Jackson's going to be having some stuff during the week. Also, website up, Discord up, working on it.
Yeah, website's up. Check it out. You can find all our podcasts there, along with some articles that are coming up. Agent Ha, aka John Ha, aka Titans fan, already has an
AKA
art.
everyone's least favorite Titans commentator.
Right, he's already got an article up. A preseason game against the Bucks. We got more coming up every day. But yeah, you can go. You can find the podcast on the website. You can download the podcast on the website. You can also listen to the podcast on the website as well. So check it out. Discord's going live here shortly.
Heck yeah. Thanks, guys. And we'll see you Sunday night.